exactly. So yeah, this is. They need to start winning games, obviously, for this to start shaking up further. But it's incredibly close, with many of these players not playing any more classical chess until that all-important January 1st.
The King's Indian defense is one of those defenses that waxes and wanes in and out of fashion. At one time, Garry Kasparov was the standard bearer for the King's Indian defense, but nobody really picked up the gauntlet thereafter. However, Richie is one of those new generation players that literally includes everything in his repertoire, including the King's Indian defense, as does Ding Liren. Ding Liren, now that I think about it, he really likes the King's Indian. Let's see what we have. We have a same-ish with f2, f3 by Wesley, bishop e3, a7, a6, queen d2, bishop d7. That's a little bit of a wrinkle for me. I mean, in the old days, they would be playing rook b8 as the main go-to. Bishop d7, rook b1, and that's also a very different approach than what the traditional approaches were. This is all standard for today's players, I suppose.
I'm not sure, because
we just saw the move h5, b4, and knight h7. That was not on our radar. I think we focused most of our attention on rook e8, prepping the move e7, e5. Richard said, okay, I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing. I'm not 100% sure what you're doing. But I am thinking of playing f5. I am thinking of playing e5. How are you going to solve your problem with the king? Wesley said, I'm going to advance my pawn, knight e5, knight d4. And we can see if white is just allowed, if you will, bishop e2 castles, massive space advantage in the center queenside. So black has got to do something here. He cannot just sit back and get himself pummeled, because bishop e2 castle c5 and the attack on the king side is way too slow.
And yes, I have a question for you.
Please.
Do you like your space?
I love my space. I've always enjoyed specifically the same-ish, and I've always had this kind of a love affair with the queenside breakthroughs with c4, c5, and especially when my opponent doesn't have e5, f4, g5 on the board. In this particular case, I think Richard needs to do something rather dramatic and rather quickly, Peter. I don't think he can just sit back and wait.
These were absolutely my next words. Yeah, the moment you passed it on to me, I was going to say, if black doesn't do something in the next
practical
Yeah.
perspective, you have to jettison the second exchange for some pawns.
Is it
Jovi.
so though, right?
It is, because the king is, with the king in the center with better coordination, it would have been a legitimate drawing attempt. But with the king on g8 and the rooks coming in very, very quickly, after knight takes e4, I will give a check, for instance. After king h7, I'll play rook c7, and you will have to start dropping pawns, because you can't really play a5, because that will completely disconnect your pieces, and once the second rook lands on the 7th, the game will end. You can't really play king g8, because rook d1, d8 will win on the spot. The best move here is g5, rook f7, king g6, but
Really?
once you start dropping
G5 is the best move.
and rook f7 isn't even the strongest. You can start with rook e1, which is even harsher.
Oh my.
No, it's just very, very bad.
Oh my. Rook e1 looks like a very attractive move, certainly, but wow. If you have to start jettisoning pawns, Jovi, I'm sorry to say it's not our day. I mean, I would be playing f7, f6, and hoping that, I would be able to reroute my knight to f5 and, try to put up some kind of
After rook
resistance.
d1, do you have very many legal moves though?
I know, that's the other issue, is you don't let my knight get back into the game. Rook d1,
Maybe g5 here though, yeah.
king h6 just to get out of the pit.
Bishop e3 check.
Bishop e3 check. Oh.
Is that so? I mean, it's a
Yeah, well,
bad
at least
game,
I
but
should play g5,
G5.
so that I can play king g6 and not suffer the consequences of yet another pit.
What I will say about this is, I think in practical terms, the easiest way to win this position is to play rook 1 d7.
And just get back an
Yeah,
exchange.
because then the a6 pawn will fall in about 2 moves, and then I will queen the b pawn. Rook d7, bishop d7, rook d7, rook a7, the next move against anything. Take
Grab
a6.
the pawn, and there we go. Rook
Yeah.
takes b3.
And the moment white creates a passer on the queen side, the game basically ends. Good point.
Yeah.
See, that's actually one of the things I didn't understand until I understood it, is being an exchange up means that we can give an exchange back a lot easier.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it's a famous quote which normally is used in relation to the advantage of the two bishops, but it's also extremely true about the advantage of the two exchanges.
As well.
It's just that you don't get it as often.
Exactly. Knight takes e4, we're expecting, and Richie is just hoping that Wesley doesn't put together the winning sequence, which leaves our other game.
Yes, and this
What's
was my
happening?
pick when it came to having a decisive.
Range.
That would be a way.
And we're just going to interrupt you there because we have our first decisive result. Wesley So has beaten Richard Rapport.
Took us 15 games, right? To get
It's
it
a lot of
decisive.
games.
Wow.
But we are here and you can see.
The double exchange sacrifice did not deliver the goods, as you were saying, Peter. It's just not even close.